Welcome to Ascend You, the show that teaches you how to get the most out of life so you can confidently step into who you were meant to become and claim a life full of passion and purpose. I'm your host, Kimberly Shukla, psychologist and transformational coach. I'm also the founder of DivinityMagazine.com and Divine Productions TV. Today's episode deals with the Divine Feminine, who she is, what happened to her, how to recognize the shadow side, who the Divine Feminine truly is, and how to reclaim your power and step boldly forward into the world. Grab a coffee and join me. You're not going to want to miss a minute of this episode. But first, hit it. The Divine Feminine is not only about women. The term is gender-free. As within the angelic realm, the archangels and beings are androgynous. The same is true for all other dimensions and realities. They carry both feminine and masculine energies, as do we. Source, or God, is both God and Goddess, neither male nor female, and is beyond form and duality. Human beings carry both feminine and masculine energy, wisdom, and tools. We individually choose to either identify with the feminine or masculine energy within us, but we are both. The feminine is sacred, sensual, and beyond the realm of day-to-day living. It is the positive expression of the feminine side that exists in all of us. It's a route to the higher self and the healing of the soul. The sacred feminine is the energy that is innate in each of us and the universe that serves life itself. It's the qualities of unconditional love, beauty, compassion, nurture, intuition, empathy, patience, gentleness, nurturing, welcoming, acceptance, forgiveness, kindness, collaboration, and healing. It is that aspect of self alive in each of us that's associated with creation, community, and sensuality. The felt senses rather than thinking senses. The Divine Feminine is the Creatrix. She's the one who gives birth to this physical reality that we live in. The womb of a woman, along with her sexual organs, is so sacred. The womb is literally a stargate. It is what the soul uses to come into the physical body in order to experience this physical dimension through the merging of the masculine and feminine energy. Yet we do not treat the feminine as a sacred expression. The feminine doesn't even treat herself as sacred. The Divine Feminine also gives rise to divine masculine energy as its home or cosmic mother for all of creation. Everything in creation comes from feminine energy. Feminine energy is very connected to their emotions. They are the fuel of life, and love is what pushes you towards your dreams. The feminine energy is also linked with healing. Feminine energies are the healers of the world because they're capable of awakening the greatest force within themselves and within others. Love. There is no other higher healing energy. She is the catalyst, the drive, and the inspiration of man. She is the awakening force that leads you to have your own experience within this universe. She is what allows you to stand in your true power because she helps you find that power within and not take it from others. So what happened to the Divine Feminine? Why is she not emulated as a sacred being? Quite simply, the divine essence has become a father God figure elevated over a mother God, where man is valued over woman. Let's talk about this for a minute. Now, understand that what I'm about to tell you is going to go directly against everything you've been taught, and you are free to believe or disbelieve it. That is your choice. But there are many of us that know that this is all true. We are connected to our higher selves. If you find yourself reacting negatively to anything that I say, it's because the soul recognizes the truth of it, but the subconscious mind fights back against the changing of the programming that it has become so comfortable with. So take note of how you react to certain messages. In the very beginning of creation, there was a mother of all creation, the prime creator, the Holy Spirit, our mother. Mother of creation wished to create and express creation, love mirroring love. She then created Father of all creation from her heart. This is what many know to be the image of God. With love mirroring love, twin souls were created. A balanced harmonic of feminine and masculine energies created in the image of both mother and father. They both created the first fractal, which sparked and created the first original twin flames, which all other fractals were created from through divine intelligence. In our society, the goddess, the feminine energy of creation, has been suppressed. Religions took over the spiritual aspect of life in order to establish a caste, to have a monopoly over the teachings. This was done to manipulate what they taught so that the masses would be kept away from experiencing expanded states of consciousness. Our power has been suppressed. For centuries, the divine feminine has been downplayed, demeaned, removed from her place of honor and reverence by the dominant patriarchal culture. As young girls, we are taught how to act. As young ladies and women, our energies are tamed because society would not approve. Women who refuse to let their energies wane are given names like slut, provocative, whore, bitch, temptress. Our cultures are filled with an enormous amount of fear, distortion, and confusion surrounding feminine sexuality. The media bombards us with images and ideas of what it means to be feminine or sexy or powerful and a woman, and most of it is disempowering. The corporate world, most commonly seen within the media and fashion industry, bombards women and men with images and messages and values that aggressively promote the distorted shadow feminine as someone to embody. This is a highly damaging form of mass mind control. We have been taken advantage of and abused. Women have been abused and raped by men who claim that she was asking for it. We have been told we are not strong or powerful. We're the weaker sex. Different cultures have broken down the feminine in ways that have her believing that it is acceptable for another man or her husband to beat her, verbally degrade her, to rape her if she doesn't abide by society's beliefs, or to murder her. The feminine is not a possession of any man. She is a co-creator with man. Religion has completely distorted the truth of the feminine energy. So again, I'm going to bring this back with a message from the higher realms. And it has to do with our masculine and feminine energies. It's going to clear up all the BS that you've been fed. The original man that you know as Adam was brought to this earth as a hermaphrodite. He carried both genders and both polar energies, created in the image of the Creator. When man's rib was removed to create woman, it also separated the genders between the two. Adam was no longer a hermaphrodite. He now carried one physical gender, but both masculine and feminine energies. Yet, religion has taught you that a man with a feminine energy is wrong. A man attracted to another man is wrong. A woman attracted to another woman is wrong. Souls can choose at a spiritual level to switch genders for a particular physical incarnation in order to fully experience the qualities of the opposite polarity. This can cause difficulties of sexual identity on Earth when a particular soul has chosen to reincarnate into an unaccustomed gender. A soul of predominantly female characteristics incarnating into a male body may find that they are more attracted to the partnership of another male. Likewise, a predominantly male soul incarnated as a female will most likely seek a partnership with another female. In some cases, they may even go through a sex change operation back to a more accustomed gender. It does not matter if you have been heterosexual, homosexual, or lesbian. Love is love, dear ones. And when you are in a sacred union in a same-sex relationship, if you have chosen to do that, it's because you are breaking some old paradigm of Earth that have been very rigid in terms of trying to define what love can look like and what it's permitted to look like. Love takes all forms. And for those of you who have chosen, and for those of you who have felt that there was never a choice other than be in a same-sex relationship, you are supported by the higher realms because love is love. And what you are doing is breaking the paradigms. That is part of your mission and purpose. There is far too much drama given to this. It is not an issue in any other dimensional reality. So today I address all of the feminine energies, the divine feminine creatrix in all forms. What you believe about your feminine energy is most likely a culmination of other people's opinions. Very rarely do we hold our own opinions of what it truly means to be a divine feminine or a masculine in control of our energy. But it is not just the outside world that tears down the divine feminine. We do it to one another as well. Rather than looking at another feminine energy as your divine sister in a sacred journey, we look at her as competition and we rip her apart as well. We look at other feminine energies in masculine bodies, and not only has she been ripped apart, in many cases she has had her life taken from her, and we somehow see this as acceptable. It is not acceptable. We live in a masculine-dominated society where the feminine is forced to step fully into her masculine energy in order to compete in business and the marketplace. We often forget how to step back into our feminine. And we tear down our own individual divine femininity by believing that we are damaged and somehow wounded. The divine feminine is powerful, loving, and caring. She is the ultimate power. There is no energy of desperation, lack, neediness, or brokenness. The wounded self only believes that it is wounded. It is an illusion. It is a choice to feel this way. We're only wounded because we choose to follow this belief, to let it affect us, and to make it mean something about us. We are wounded by voices that tell us that we are not enough. We're not strong enough, or bold or brave enough, or pretty enough, or skinny enough, or right enough, desirable enough, or wealthy enough, or even powerful enough. Let's talk about who the divine feminine is not. You may recognize many of these characteristics within yourself. The reason almost every feminine on the planet resides in the shadow side of herself is because of what she has been taught about being feminine since the day she was born. The first trait of the shadow feminine is inner emptiness. There resides within us a traumatized part that has been separated from love and any genuine form of personal power. An emptiness because the feminine has endured a millennia of abuse, rape, loss of status, respect, and a rightful voice and role within society. Generations of feminine not being loved, seen, heard, or embraced. This has caused the feminine to be invisible even to herself. And because of this, in order to survive, she thrives on the love and attention of others. It's outsourced external energy. There's no real self-love. She cannot truly see her own beauty and power. She's been oppressed and believes that she must hide behind a mask and act weak. The next trait is fake outer beauty. The wounded shadow feminine is unable to connect to her inner beauty, and because of this, she measures her value and self-worth through her outer appearance, investing heavily in displaying her outer beauty. The divine feminine at the core is a brilliant diamond, yet she is bogged down and covered up by layers of shit. And to avoid having anyone else see how much shit there is, she covers it with this pretty nail polish. Rather than clearing the layers of shit, she'll continue to cover it with pretty nail polish in order to look appealing to the outside world. Look at social media. We're bombarded with women adorning fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake nails, and layers of makeup to alter their appearance and give this illusion of perfection. Women taking on some persona of a Barbie doll. Women playing themselves up as either victims or with a false sense of power and entitlement. You have bought into these unattainable images of desirable womanhood that continually remind you of your inherent unworthiness. When you can't reach these impossible standards that society has convinced you that you need to be, your self-esteem plummets. This leads to body hatred and unworthiness, which leads to self-harming and eating disorders and brutal fitness regimes and addictions. All in an attempt to attain this fake perception of perfection. And we also take the other polar extreme of that by covering women's faces with scarves and hoods and veils, covering her entire form with long black dresses, murdering her if she doesn't abide. Are we so threatened by a woman and her feminine energy that we feel we have some right to control her? Or are you as men unable to control yourself in her presence? This is not divine will. It is yours. We have an obsession with eternal youth. The wounded feminine is terrified with the process of aging. She cannot place value on herself as a sacred feminine and flow with the natural cycles of life. She's convinced that she must alter herself in order to compete in business, in life, and in relationships. She's afraid of being replaced by those younger than her. She's obsessed with this concept of eternal youth and every possible way of attaining it. We live in a youth-obsessed culture that promotes plastic surgery, Botox injections, and expensive creams and elixirs. We have outward sexuality. Because the wounded feminine is afraid to let anyone see how empty she is, she's afraid to risk intimacy or vulnerability. She becomes a seductress, projecting a false and idealized image of herself as this embodiment of the ideal woman. She looks for this idea of love through sex. Yet no matter how many men she seduces and sleeps with, she continues to feel empty inside. She confuses the feelings obtained through empty sex with genuine love. She has this false sense of power through her ability to seduce. Codependency. She has an incomplete sense of her personal and sexual power. She needs to fill herself with emotional and sexual energy of others. Seduction is the most common way to bring her attention that she craves. She thrives on sexual and emotional entanglements because it feeds into her false sense of personal power. She latches on and ultimately controls the emotional, sexual, and creative energy of her mates. This creates deep emotional entanglements where jealousy, obsession, and codependency rule. She convinces her mates that she is what they need to complete themselves. She also creates these bonds in non-sexual relationships with family, children, friends, and colleagues. Codependent versions of love that are confused with genuine love. It's virtually a love addiction through attachments. She needs people to feel whole and complete, to take care of her or to take care of. Competition. The wounded feminine cannot perceive her own self-value. She doesn't see her own uniqueness as the gift that it is. She measures her value through competition and comparison to others. She's seduced by the recognition, status, money, and power that getting to the top offers. She craves roles and positions that give her visibility and attention, particularly in politics, arts, fashion, and business. To the outside world, she's seen as a promoter of sexual equality. But she does nothing to challenge the patriarchal order. She just becomes part of the broken machine, taking roles and positions that have been traditionally occupied by men, trying to prove her worth. The effect of this is self-alienation from her natural feminine power and self-love. Many of the successes and role models who hold positions of power and visibility in society, whether in politics, business, media, and other fields, typically embody the shadow-wounded feminine. She shows up in conditions such as narcissism, codependency, eating disorders, and body shame. This mistaken shadow self drives her to look for forms of status and success that are hollow and unsatisfying. This typically leads to addictions in drugs, alcohol, sex, or money. When we begin to heal the shadow side of ourselves and heal the distorted patterns, we allow for a more healthier version of ourselves to emerge. The word feminine isn't usually associated with power, yet it is the very definition of power. The feminine energy is one of feeling free and fulfilled within the self, and love illuminates her path from the inside out. She is the energy of beingness. She's fiercely protective of her time and energy. She follows the beat of her own drum, knowing innately that all hearts beat as one. She's the essence of innocence, purity, love, humility, and divine knowing. This is why she sustains life and builds empires out of grace, gratitude, and giving. In the end, she's the one who receives. The feminine energy is an amazingly powerful and alchemical energy of massive manifestation and soulful creative drive. She is a magnet to everything she wants because she is the divine energy of co-creation and manifestation. So let's talk about the traits of the true divine feminine. They begin with inner fullness. The divine feminine knows that her natural birthright is to shine her unique light to the world. Her higher self and wisdom shine through her body. She has restored herself to innocence and inherent sacred nature of her being. She feels her presence and value deeply and does not need to source energy, attention, or validation from anyone or anything except herself. She does not need to prove, do, or demonstrate anything to show her value. She's comfortable being her unique self, not in an arrogant or cocky way, but in a self-assured, inner knowing way. She's the woman who draws the attention of everyone in the room with her deeply rooted self-confidence, self-worth, and self-assuredness. She's in full control of her life. She oozes effortless creativity and magnetizes abundance to her while others are still chasing it. She does not seek dominion over others, but is an authority and has mastery over her own life. She's fair, just, and compassionate. She is a woman that you can share your innermost feelings with and know that you won't be judged, but instead will be supported and loved unconditionally. She is an influential woman who knows how and when to use her power. She's not a drama queen. She's a confident, independent woman who knows how to communicate her thoughts and feelings. She's not a victim. She doesn't hide from creating and implementing healthy boundaries and putting herself first. She is empowered. Then there's natural beauty. She has a deep connection to her femininity. She radiates self-love and light that expressed through her physical health and vitality. This gives her natural beauty. Her beauty is never defined by narrow societal standards. She is love. Love radiates from her core and penetrates every cell of her being. She's deeply connected to her sensuality and the sensuality of her environment. She's able to give so freely because she knows how to ask for what she needs unapologetically. She empowers others by expressing empowerment. She lives, breathes, and exercises in time with her natural rhythm. She chooses kindness and respect for her body as her way of being. Her beauty is natural. She dresses in ways that celebrate and enhance her natural beauty and the respect of the earth. She understands that the soul quality of her love is what makes her magnetic, desirable, and lovable. Her beauty will follow her into old age and death because beauty and light are inseparable. Maturity. The divine feminine embraces the stages of life and sees the beauty that they bring her. She embraces the stages of maiden, mother, and crone, knowing each stage brings another evolution of maturity, understanding, and awakening. She embraces the entire journey of life and the self-knowledge that comes with aging. The divine feminine is more powerful in her 40s, 50s, and 60s than she ever was in her younger years because she has transformed and stepped into her innate wisdom. She celebrates the wrinkles and gray hair as milestones that she's entering her soul's ultimate destiny of embodying wisdom. Regardless of her age or stage in life, she radiates beauty, light, and harmony within her being. This causes her to age gracefully, maintaining natural beauty, strength, and health. Divine love. The divine feminine has this inner knowing that she is in fact whole and complete within herself. She holds a clear balance of feminine and masculine energies within her. Her feminine energy is magnetic, mysterious, open, and receptive. She is here to receive the incredible beauty and healing of the divine masculine love into her energetically. She draws this to her effortlessly and enters openly and joyfully into love. She understands that entering freely into relationships is the most powerful adventure of life and growth. Her goal within relationships is to co-create healing and transformation through love. Her sexuality is an open and to giving and receiving. Within the realm of her relationships with her lover, she is free from the entanglements of attachment and dependency. Her own life force is more than enough to sustain her. She understands that energy attracts energy. She is an empress, and as such, she will not give herself and her sexuality to anyone less than an emperor. Complete, unique expression. She is a co-creator with the universe. By turning to her natural gifts and passions, she will embody the vital role that gives her joy and fulfillment. She does not need validation from others. Her personal truth and intuition are her guides through life's journey. She carries a deep desire to foster connection, love, balance, and healing. It's this desire that drives her to carve out her own unique role in the world. She is not seduced by power or wealth or status and superficial symbols of success. Instead, she knows that she deserves security and abundance and recognition on all levels and can attain it all in return for her contribution to the world. Rather than settling for jobs and positions that don't feed her soul, she creates a position or a career or a business that brings her joy, passion, and fulfillment. So, how do you begin to claim your divine feminine power? I'm going to give you 4 things to start with in order to step into your power. First is get in touch with your sensuality. Dive deep into your senses, the taste, touch, sound, and smells of the world around you. Treat yourself luxuriously. Treat yourself to a day spa or a facial or a massage. Give yourself a bouquet of your favorite flowers. Indulge in that delightful chocolate. Bring the beauty home to surround you. Buy that lingerie for no reason and allow yourself to feel sexy and sensuous. Do what feeds your soul and allows you to feel feminine and powerful and desirable. Next, cooperate rather than compete. We've been raised with this belief that competition is inherent to success, and we often look at others as possible threats. To really harness your divine feminine energy is to view others as mentors for their ability to forge new and exciting pathways in the world. Instead of focusing on how you feel less than the most powerful person in the room, focus on bringing this person into your circle and consider what value you can add to their life. Doing this will ultimately make you feel more competent and powerful in a balanced way. We have compliment rather than criticize. Society has taught us how to focus on what's wrong rather than what's right. What we focus on grows. Focusing on what you don't like in another person or within yourself only amplifies that thing. Take the time to find the things that you do like within yourself and others and pay them genuine compliments from the heart. Catch yourself making judgments about another person. Caring deeply and actively for all others will help all of us thrive. Compassion is what enables our highest selves to emerge. Believe in people's best intentions and efforts and qualities. Treat people as expressions of their best selves. If you encounter someone that really irritates you, take a deep breath. Have compassion and understand that they're doing the best they can on their journey with the limited understanding and belief systems that they have. Create rather than deconstruct. Inside each of you is a voice of possibility that encourages you to create and points out your resourcefulness. What creation can you give birth to? Who can you collaborate with to bring it to life? The divine feminine is a creative source. It doesn't matter if that creation comes in the form of painting or writing or singing or gardening or whatever sets your soul on fire. What can you give birth to for yourself and for others? Connect with your inner wealth, abundance, prosperity, creativity, and fertility. Be at peace with the blessings in your life. By connecting with your soul purpose, you're able to connect better with others. What project can you bring life to? Let yourself create without limitations and allow the magic to unfold within you. To all of my divine feminine sisters, I love and support you. It is time for us all to stand up and reclaim our power. It is time for us to stand together and to raise each other up, to support rather than strip. A time to create the next chapter on this new earth. There is not a divine feminine energy on this planet who is born to play small. You were born to stand fully in your power. It does not matter what your race or cultural belief or religious beliefs. It does not matter if you were born rich or poor. It does not matter if you've been told that you are not beautiful or beautiful. It does not matter what you've been through in life that has made you feel that you were weak or somehow messed up or didn't measure up to someone else's standards. You are a child of Source, and you are powerful beyond any man's comprehension. It is time to shed this illusion of being weak and oppressed and powerless and imprisoned. The only one who imprisons you is your own mind and conditioning. I invite you to stand with me in your power. Our divine feminine mantra is, when I nurture myself, I nurture others. I am the divine feminine. I am powerful. I am Source. I now choose to stand in my full power and to be seen. Say it with confidence, my sisters. Say it loud and say it proud. Own it. Embody it. If you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe. If you are ready to break the old paradigms and bring more love to the world, then please share this episode with others. If you are ready to join the revolution, then please download my free manifesto, The Awakening. You'll find the link in the description below. As always, I wish you love, peace, joy, and laughter. Namaste, my sisters.